All right, should be rolling. I'm always worried when I start a stream that it's just not gonna have any audio or not be sending at all, but I think it's good. We are waiting on another round one game for Bedrock. Gonna be our third one, I believe, unless I missed one. I'm gonna totally butcher names as usual, but we're gonna have on one side is Canela, and then the other side is I like that name, I like Gustambos. Canela and Gustambos. Okay. I know Team Blue, because I know several players on them from last tournament. They have Ent Peru, world famous EggWars player Ent Peru, and they have Eldery Snake, a couple other people. Other team I don't know as well, but I'm hoping for a good competitive game. That's all I need. Gonna start at 2 for me, starting 5 minutes on the hour. So we got a few minutes to kind of hang out. If I was a better streamer, I'd be able to comment over those 5 minutes, but I'm not gonna subject myself to doing that. No, no, you're saying no audio, but I said no audio. So I don't believe you. Yeah, no, I unmuted it. Don't lie to me. That's not nice. Stress me out. We can look at maps. That's a good thing. Beach is going to be last. I always look for beaches because beach never gets banned. That's my favorite map. Most people's favorite competitive map, I think. It's going to be Royalty, Palace, and then beach. Best of 3, so if we get to 3, then we'll play beach. No, you can't just kidding me like a full minute after you said no audio, okay? Because you've already stressed me out. It doesn't work like that. I do appreciate you saying something though, because then in a way it does let me know that it is working, if you think about it that way. I had someone say 480 last time too, but then no one else complained and it seemed like it was working fine. Like I can make sure that like the bitrate is high enough. Yeah, it says it is. Like it's possible that my like Wi-Fi just sucks really bad, or my Ethernet, but I don't think it does. Okay. Like I wouldn't be the most surprised because I have moved since last season. I had a little better network there, but it's still very solid. I wouldn't expect any issues. Got Noodles in here. I like that. Common viewer. I think Noodles is on a team this tournament too in Java, right? If I remember. Need a better username than Noodles. That's like the best username. Kevin over there could say they need a better username because it's just like their name. But Noodles, you know, I mess with it. There's totally like a watch together thing. I don't think I'm supposed to join that though. I hope not. We didn't do that last season. Oh, it's 1440. It's actually getting my full monitor? That's tough. Heck yeah. I assumed it would be in 1080. Can you tell I'm good at this? I appreciate that, Hamid. I try my very best. If I had the time, I could see actually streaming playing games, but I don't really have very much free time nowadays. Show me a private game code. Not yet. Awakened Cow. I like it. That feels to me like one of the ones that your Microsoft or your Xbox gamer tag would just auto-generate to. But I don't mind it. Now, what's the difference between an actual, like a regular cow and an awakened cow? I think we're gonna have a private game in a second here, which is good. Alright, let me hop in there. I'm gonna pause my stream. Someday we'll get like a cool looking pause icon, but for now, we don't. Alright, we have a private game made. We're gonna wait for our two teams here. Probably no one heard me at the very beginning, so our two teams here are Geam Canela. I don't know how I'm supposed to say that first word, I apologize. And then Gustambos is the other team. I can go over lineups if we have time. I don't think we have specific players, but we do have our table. Gustamos is and Peru, Awesome Star, Eldery Snake. There's someone named Exa, Kutori, Hunty, Leo Stray, LPX Payne, and Lucas GP88. And then there's Raphael on Canela, Raphael, Kenry, Lilio, and then a bunch of names that I don't have any idea how to pronounce, but we'll see them when they're in the game. God, I wish we had like proper esports and we had little like introductions and icons for all the players. It would be fun. Stuff costs money though. Oh, was I right? Was it a was it an auto-generated one? I like it. I shouldn't ever go try to pronounce the usernames because I'm gonna get clowned so hard. I'm hoping for more than 15 minutes this time. We've had two Bedrock streams. They've been like 20 minutes and 16 minutes, including everything at the beginning or the end. I don't know how confident I am because this Gustambos team, I'm pretty sure at least some of them were on Kuyo last tournament, which were the team that won, the last EggWars one we had. So, if there was a team that was going to destroy another team, it would probably be this one. But we'll have to see. See if I can like cover up the thing here. That's what I'll do in the future. I'll set it up so I can cover the private game code, and then I don't have to let you guys sit on this private game or this loading screen until everyone gets in. Moving pretty quick though. He said yes. Mood says, I hate to break it for you, but this will take 3 to 5 minutes. Well, I hope not. But we try. Okay. We're out here, we got it scheduled, and we're rolling. That's what matters. Someone said, show us your W parkour skills. I don't even know, is this where the parkour starts? Oh god, I fell. I don't really play enough nowadays to know how things work. Oh no, I can't even because I'm not showing my screen right now because there are only 3 players in here. Once it's full, I can go back to the proper screen. But we have one team in right now. We got 4 out of 8 now. Alright, we got 8 out of 8. Let me switch us back up. Alright, just gonna wait on everyone being ready. Do a little parkour. Get my engagement back up now that there's actually Minecraft on the screen. That's how this goes. Awakened Cow said you could tell me what the best matches of first round will be so I can commentate those. I mean, I'm gonna try to get on as many as I can. Like, I don't really, I don't really pick them based on the teams. I like to see good matches, but I kind of just do whatever I can. I don't have tons of free time, so it ends up just being like, I got home from class like 20 minutes before this game started. Secret, secret white. Sure. Never seen that before. But you guys never know. We could have an upset, you know? Anyone consider that? Please comment on Soup Kitchen versus Omelet Warriors. I mean, I can't. I could look at the teams maybe because I was a big Java guy back in the day. Like I know a lot of the older Java players, but I couldn't comment right now because I don't know the team names. All right, first game going on. We're on Royalty. Royalty is very spread out at the beginning, right? There's like 300 blocks in between these two spawns, so both teams are gonna get to mid right away. So the really big decider you see on Royalty a lot because it's so, complex and there's so many ways to go that you'll see both teams kind of run into mid here. Here's blue, this is Peru, so this is for Gustambos. Gets to mid immediately with a little builder kit. You're going to see a similar thing from orange. And what I was getting at is, I'm not sure where our orange player is at mid. But you'll see a lot of just immediate egg rushes because you can run around. Here we don't see that because the two people just went to their own gens, which is reasonable as well. We do have someone probably with armor now who's going to try to snipe this player from Canela, but they get away in time. So we had initially they traded pretty well, but now it's going to be 2-on-1 at mid right now, at least in favor of Gustambos. We're going to have, this is Lily over here. I thought they were going to go for the egg. They do get into a little fight here. A couple good combos. Then they kind of get low grounded. Close fight overall, though. Antius does win that one. Difference of that fight was a low ground. They got a few crits there. Little combo, but it was pretty even. Orange right now, we only see, I don't know this texture pack, the eggshell kit, right? Diorite or whatever it is. Still have pretty solid mid control for Gustambos. I'm not sure what Peru bought with the initial diamonds they got. Same thing for the other team. They do have Abi over there, though. Executore just commented, ban Executore, so yeah, that's a little like, I don't know if that's the right move. Ban yourself. Alright, I'm not sure what Canela's doing over here. Are they all just hanging out at their base? Okay, I'm being a bad spectator right now because I have no idea where any of these people are. This base is totally safe. Looking good. Oh, I'm a terrible host. I'm like lost. Oh, someone did. He. I don't know if what we're gonna do with this now because we have someone from Gustambos who left. Peru's still here. Quatori's still here. I'm not sure what the other one was. Someone crashed. I'm pretty sure normal policy is we just play this out. So Gustambos does have advantage here, like they've been on gear the whole time, but they're in a 3v4 now. Um, Someday I hope we have some, slash rejoin functionality, but that won't be the case right now. Yeah, this is basically an unwinnable fight. Your wood sword, I guarantee you Leo has gapples too. Like this, you'd have to get 1,000 wood sword hits to kill him. Peru's gonna try to get a finish. Doesn't get him quite all the way off, but damage gets it done. Peru's going to the base now. Now Peru doesn't really have gear. I didn't see a diamond sword or anything special. It does have a leap feather. Might just be straight up leap feather and either Abi to block in or just a good pickaxe. Yeah, Abi to block in. So that'll be. Oh, I was gonna say it would be egg, but he didn't get one of the blocks there. There you go. I do see a diamond pickaxe, but it depends on whose is faster. That is actually a quick pickaxe Kenry has there, so that was good. They defended that. When I see obsidian block, and I assume and now there's a 4v1 here, Leo's gonna just try to run away, not lose the gear. So it was a good little defense. I mean, they defended with more players than Gustambos even has on their team, but it was solid. You saw that. That was started with a K over here, Kenry. That looked like a solid pickaxe. That was pretty instant. Leo gets a kill. Looks like Leo got 2 kills right there. And then they're gonna run back. I mean, now this is a good opportunity because right now there's only one person with armor and then Leo behind them as well, probably from mid. Gonna try to get a kill on Kenry without getting knocked back, but now someone else buys armor, someone else is gonna buy armor. It's gonna be a 4v1 again. With the iron sword, I don't think you do enough damage to win a 4v1. Does get one. But iron's not invincible. These are all stone swords. You're gonna start taking some damage. Gonna have to gap, and Peru just decides to like spectate with no gear. Or they didn't. I don't know. That was a strange decision from Peru there. Maybe they were trying to flex. Like if you get the egg while you have no armor, it's pretty impressive. But you die in like you die in like 2 hits. Leo Stray still getting hits though. The end Peru distraction was good. Same thing with Lilio here. I feel like there's really no reason to run up here without armor because you're not gonna do anything, right? Like you're gonna get killed in 2 hits. And so it happens. Nice little combo here from Zojita. That was a solid like 6 or 8 hits probably. See the number I skipped there. I know my stuff. I know I haven't spec'd anything else in a while, but this is really the only thing that's happening. I will tell you, there have been so many orange players at their base for so long that I would expect that if you go over here, go over to mid, Gustambos is going to be able sometime to show up with more gear. There's only 3 here, so you don't know there are 4, right? So we see no we see no other members of Gustambos here, which means they're all farming. So just keep that in mind. Leo's going to gap again. Like, they're just fighting to win time basically because kills here don't mean anything. It's not possible. Like that person's dead, but they're gonna have armor back before these 2 die, right? Like it's not possible to make progress there. And Leo does finally go down. It was a valiant effort, and I think it was very worthwhile because, like I said earlier, the gear diff is about to be insane. I say the gear diff, and then Peru's running in with no armor again. No armor in a 3v2 though is interesting. He's just really going for the leap feather strategy. If they have a pickaxe, it's possible. Like this is probably egg here. Unless Lilio has a better pickaxe, and they don't, so now you're kind of in a tricky spot because you could have gotten some kills, but no armor, you're not going to get any kills. Unless you pull some crazy bait around the edge, which is what they're going to try to do. But, there's an armorless guy in the back of your base, just don't follow them, right? The little diagonal bridging on Bedrock, this strategy here is funny, although didn't work out too long. That is a tough little mouse flick you have to do to be able to do that properly. When you have X's in here with a gear diff, I still think I want to see better swords. Like, I don't know why we're running in here with stone swords this late in the game. But they should be able to get at least one here. Only in chain, so it's not, like, totally done, but leather against iron does not hold up very well. There goes one. That's a nice little pick off the edge there. You don't just see someone get voided from the little crown here. X's now. No, Kenry got a couple good little hits there. Lilia's gonna come in too, but again, I just feel like leather armor against iron, it's gonna hurt a lot. We see Zogita somewhere else, or Zogita, or Zogeta, I have no idea. Exa does go down, so these two made a good play there. But it's gonna be a 2v3 now, and we're gonna have everyone except Entpru is gonna be on a gear advantage because Pru doesn't believe in armor, I suppose. I don't know though. I feel like it's not that much of a flex if you're leap feathering at the egg with no armor. Like the armor doesn't mean anything for that application. But get a kill afterwards, then it is. Leo goes in, gets a couple hits, and then just runs back. 2v3 is possible, but everyone here is, everyone here is competent enough that winning a 2v3 with equal gear is going to be difficult, especially with the Bedrock knockback. On Java, it's a little easier because you're not just going to get voided immediately by the second person, but Bedrock is hard because you get comboed, you get picked up, it's not easy. Exa comes in with more gear, almost just gets plopped off the edge there, but is able to clutch. Leap feathers to clutch a second time. This is impressive from Canela here. Second team. Orange team. Getting so many good voids and knockbacks, even without having any gear, really. Lilio's in a very precarious spot here. Other one goes down. They go down as well. You said the helmet broke, so that was not going to last very long regardless. So that was not a bad game. I would just keep in mind that we had a member of Gustambos crash that game. So that was a 4v3, and they still ended up winning pretty handily towards the end. So I would expect a 4v4 on a smaller map without any adjustments made to be a little bit more difficult. But we will have to see what the adjustments are because that's part of the game. Second game shouldn't take as long to get into. Doesn't really ever. I'm like frame lagging here. This is weird. My computer doesn't like me streaming. I hope it's not lagging the game. It didn't seem like it was. But man, like this spot right here is terrible. I used to be on the leaderboard for Parkour Bedrock. I don't know if I still am. Probably added more stuff since then. That wasn't a good showing, was it? Alright, second map, our private game should be soon. And it is going to be on Palace. Palace is, I mean, pretty similar to Royalty, right? Royalty and Palace. It's definitely it's like an in-between between Beach and Royalty. It's not nearly as complex and huge of a map as Royalty is, but it's also not the flat, perfect PvP mid that Beach is. So if we see a third map, we'll get to see Beach, but Palace will be our second one. See that when we get into the game. Awakened Cow says Dinosaur Roar versus Dragons, Paragon versus Team Lagcraft, Parallax Unit versus Unks, and those are going to be some good matches. I'm going to tell you, I will try my very best. I'll keep an eye out, but everything is next weekend, and I don't know if I'm available next weekend. Like literally every single game is like Saturday the 21st or Sunday the 22nd. So we'll see how it goes. All right. Oh, I need to change my little score guy too, real quick. Let me do that. Gustambos is 1-0. There you go. And then I'm going to pause real quick so we can get into the private game. I pray I'm not paused for as long this time. Well, Awakened Cow, it's funny you say that because you say commentators are just staff and mods. I'm not technically on any CubeCraft staff anymore. I used to be, but I'm not a mod or a QA or anything like that. But last time I was hosting, I was, and they just kept me around because I'm a cool guy. We got 4 out of 8 in here, waiting for our second team. Looks like we're waiting on Gustambos or the team that's not in here, so gotta lock it in a little bit. Eldery Snakes in the chat. Yo, I did not know my team was playing. Well, it's actually your team. You know, they could have used your help. Gonna be a close game. I'm glad you guys are locked in, though. We had like 50 viewers there for a second. That's low-key crazy for like a random first round game. I think and Peru and Eldery Snake are just very popular people. Alright, we got a late in here. Move it back over. This is like an emote thing? Is it supposed to be like this? Is it supposed to like freak out? Is that like intentional? That was very weird. I hope my stream was up so someone could see what I'm talking about and look like I'm hallucinating. Alright, I'm gonna ignore your message, Lewis, because you called me Deanie Poo. I'm not about that. But you can try again if you want to. Looks like our teams are ready. I guess it'll be on Palace. You can check that map out once we get in there. Hopefully nobody crashes this game. Someone on Gustambos gotta be on the stream, right? Tell Peru that if they're gonna go armorless, at least kill someone in a fight and don't just go for the egg armorless. Because if you go for the egg armorless, it doesn't matter. No, that guy left. No. Yeah, this one's probably gonna be a reset. Okay, well, you guys can check out this nice palace map right here, but we had someone probably crash or leave like 1 second before the game started, so we're gonna hop in. Gonna hop and do another one. Should I just stay in this game? No, I don't want to mess my team up. I might have messed my team up because it just took 5 seconds. It's not my fault the countdown started right as I joined there. There you go, Lewis. Tell you the same thing I told the other person. I'll commentate any game I can make it to. Just got a rough schedule. Pillars parkour. This like block confused me. I thought it was solid. I'm sure Juan's getting mad at me right now because I haven't joined that private game yet. Okay, I'm gonna repause this. Everyone should be like locked in and ready. Oh, so that Raphael, the one that left, did crash, so we're actually hanging out waiting for them to get restarted. Yeah, Eldery, wouldn't that be funny if Canela comes back, wins 2-1 and you're out? Okay, someone was telling me to look at some Java teams before, right? They'd have to remind me though, because I don't remember what I don't know which teams they were talking about. All right, now we have a new code. Gonna hop back in this one. You know, Deanington I can trust. You know, that's a good nickname. I'll appreciate that one. Got 4 of it in here, waiting for Gustambos again. They are slow to join, but they didn't make us restart the countdown, so I don't know who to be mad at here. I mean, Pandora, it's not 6 minutes to relog, it's like 6 minutes to do everything, right? Like the person has to relog, we have to close the private game, everyone has to like party back up again if they weren't partied before, they have to all manually join, we have to make a new private game, we have to send them a code, right? It takes a minute. That's why I wish we had like some cool graphical elements we could cut to and make things interesting, but we're not a very high value, high monetary production here. So we take what we can get. Benny T says hi, hello. Did he go for milk also? Okay, that one was pretty funny, but I gave you my spiel already. I'll save it. You know, you'd be shocked the amount. Like Dean the Bean is like the most common one. Like everyone feels like they're original for coming up with that, and you're not. That's what it always is. I don't hate it though. I don't think we're gonna get any 3 hour long scrims, any 3 hour long matches in these ones, because we do have deathmatch. And I wish we had like a proper moving border deathmatch, but we have a don't sit at your base and be irritating deathmatch, which works just the same. So actually, Pandora, the people we're waiting on right now are Gustambos, the team that didn't leave last time. The one that crashed is back in the game, totally fine. I'm not really sure why we're waiting so long, actually. Isn't Eldery in chat? Eldery, can you like... Okay, I was gonna say, can you tell your team to join the game, and they just don't join the game, so we're good, we're good. Alright, now hopefully nobody leaves immediately this time, and we'll actually play a game. That's my hope. I'm not a soccer guy, Lewis. I couldn't tell you. I like that one gif of Ronaldo like drinking and then looking at the camera and smiling. That's very funny. So I say Ronaldo for that one. You know, Subway Surfers gameplay is a good shot. I could see that. All right, here we're on Palace. You can see Palace is a lot more simple than Royalty is, a lot smaller. It's a similar kind of thing where the islands are far enough apart, like on most two-player maps, where especially with these, you know, mid is basically 10 blocks away. You're gonna get to mid immediately, and Peru's at mid. They're gonna be these generators here. I always get confused where the generators are because of this crazy map, but diamond gen right there, this diamond gen across, and there's gold in the middle. Peru gets there a little quicker, is going to be able to get both gold gens and go back, probably get Obby with that. So Jita's the one on the other side, going to run around and try to grab that iron, but now there's no running away really, it's too much combo. Gonna have an actual fight here with Lilian Hunty, because, you know, no armor, no weapon, that's not a real fight. They both just decide to split, which is fair. I can't tell if you guys in chat are actually beefing or if you're just being weird. Don't beef in my chat. Good little fighter. That was a good block placement. Got a couple combos on there. Hunties does have a gap, and if it's gap versus no gap, that's basically the end of that fight. So I did not respect your ball knowledge. I did not know what ball knowledge we're talking about. Lilio gets back. They're going to have some items. That is solid. Gonna have a little fight here with Raphael and Hunties. Raphael probably has some gear as well because it looks like they're just trying to get away, but they kind of blocked themselves in there a little bit. You see, they're not really trying to fight. There wasn't even a sword out there. And they go down. So Gita's coming back now. Gets comboed out. That was really solid from Hunties. I don't know if they were low before from that fight they had, but that was a solid, solid several crits in a row. Very good combo. You know, I've heard back and forth fiction about texture pack. I like to use this one because it's flairful, so it is. You know, it's CubeCraft League. This is a CubeCraft texture pack, like a marketplace one. I think it's very cool. I get a lot of comments asking which one it is. But you know, I do see the point you make. Hunties is just going from mid to orange, which is surprising. You do have, is this Peru over here with no armor again? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this is gonna work. It's gonna try to get a kill. No. Yeah, well, no armor does that. But Hunty actually, that's what it. I was gonna say I was surprised they're not going back to their own base, but Peru was distracting. They just buy armor at the enemy base. It works. And I mean, with a diamond sword, I think you just infinite kill here. You might have to wait for a teammate to be able to actually get the egg if you don't have a decent pickaxe, but you're more or less never gonna die until your armor breaks. You can see they're not even really going for the egg, they're just kind of hanging out. Now, if they had gold or diamonds, they might have just bought a diamond pickaxe. This is the most dangerous spot to be in, is outside. You really don't want to be outside at all. But there are these nice windows on Palace, so I don't think they'll have any struggle getting back. If they really wanted to, they could also build straight up. Get knocked out again. If they were going to get taken out, this would be where it was, but you see their head hitting with the tree. Basically taking no knockback. And now on the side here, Raphael's going to get obliterated, obviously, because it's wood sword against diamond. Leo backs up. But you have a similar thing to last game where there's one player from Gustambos at the base, and that just means everyone else is like farming. I don't know why slow falling is it's like a perk. Um, I'm not, my ball knowledge with modern EggWars isn't up there as much, but this is a pretty silly fight to watch now. Hunties gets a couple more kills. Lilio does buy a diamond sword, but I feel like you have no armor, you're just gonna get focused. Like their helmet just broke. Lilio needs to back up and buy armor, because they're just gonna, you have a pretty valuable sword here. This is the only way you're gonna get a kill on Hunties, or anyone else who's coming, because I guarantee you this person is gear 2, and they do. Um, and at a certain point, it's like you just, there the egg gets broken. Sorry, I looked at the other guy, and the egg, they did have a pickaxe after all. This person has no armor, Raphael is gonna get one tapped, basically, which is what happened. So Gita needs to back up, because they're never ever winning this fight either. I mean, they could get like a quintuple combo off the edge is the only way. I'm not sure why Hunties is running. That feels like a strange move. Exa did die there. I wish I was spectating that. I'm not sure how that one happened. Because they were just like their teammate. Very, very, very much a gear diff there, but they got knocked off the edge, it looks like. They might be glad they're not clipped on my stream here. Hunties looks like they're having a little bit of ping issues now, unless that's me, but it doesn't look like it's me. Alright, Lilia looks like we're getting messed with a little bit. No screen time for you. I'm gonna find someone else. The other two members are at their own base. No sword for Zergita looked like a stone sword, but they have solid gear. Lilio does get back to their teammates, which is good because it means they're not going to be able to get pickaxe farmed probably. Maybe some extra armor would be a good idea if I can give a suggestion. Do they have it? They do have a diamond gen going, actually. That's interesting. So this is not totally over because the gear diff is shrinking. But to be able to get the egg, I mean, they might just have to hold off till deathmatch, which is quite a long way away. Exa is back at the base. Now Exa, this is the opposite of last time because they are gear diffed. But when they had the gear, they got knocked off the edge. So maybe it's like a superstition kind of thing and they're going to win now. And they're trying to, like, it's iron armor, they're going to mine it, break it faster. Is that the logic there? Because you're using a pickaxe? Get a little block trap. Not quite off the edge. Now, obviously, yours Vegeta here, you're not going to want to pressure. There's not really any reason to. Like, you're just going to get knocked off. Like, I disagree with that play running out at all because I think that's what's going to happen. But I do get it. You want to get some kills. Lilio is back at mid now. Kenry as well, although they're kind of up top. Peru's coming back out with no armor. Peru gonna try to get a kill because there's no egg to break. That is a solid combo, but you did maybe half a heart of damage with all of those fist hits. They got the pickaxe though. I see what it's about. Okay. Might as well use the pickaxe to attack too. That's like a stone sword. Wood with sharpness. Lilio's towards the egg. Now Lilio has a good pickaxe for sure, so they'll actually get the egg here. So, it's a 2v4, but it's basically a 2v3 because Peru's not playing the game with any actual items. And they're gonna get Awesome Star here, probably. Yeah, it's 2v3. Peru Peru gave in and bought armor, but they're still super diffed with the diamond swords. Peru does hit a really good clutch there, and Hunty's gonna come from behind, so now it's a proper 2v2. Very, very lucky that Peru didn't just get voided there. Because that would have made this game serious. But they are able to clutch pretty well. Hang on. And now it's Lilio against 3. Not unwinnable at all still, right? You void someone and all of a sudden you're back in it. I'm not sure where the third member is of Gustambos. This is just like a kind of classic 2v1. Try to focus down Peru if you can because the armor is so much worse, but there's just not really time. There you go. I like this little house that Awesome Star was making. It's funny because Awesome Star ended up just getting ambushed over here, but this is a good one. I like it. Alright. That game, I did like the end of it. I think we had some legit fighting. There was a shot there. There was a world where Peru gets knocked off and all of a sudden it's very scary. But that's not the world we're living in. And we end off today with a 2-0 for Gustambos, like a lot of people were predicting, it seems like. But I think it was well played overall. This is or I guess it was, a best of 3. So 2-0 means Gustambos were moving on. Let me do what I always do. Let me pull up the table real quick, or the bracket, see what's going on. Alright, so Gustambos win that game. They're going to either play 3x3 or, I don't even want to say this name. They're going to either play 3x3 or City Boys 6-7. Super awesome. 3x3 I'm pretty sure played in the last tournament. I do remember them if it's the same team that was called 3x3 Crafters. They're going to be the third team to move on after Los Royals a couple days ago and EGT yesterday. Round of 16, then we'll have a round of 8, then 4, then a finals. Gonna be fun. Let me see if anyone said any crazy stuff. I'll give it a second before I end stream because stream delay. I want to make the stream delay shorter, but it would probably be like competitively bad if someone was hopping on stream and like listening to me calm the enemy's positions. Awesome Star, that was a carry. Good win. The house was the moral support. That's the reason the team actually won. Alright. I'm gonna hop up, have a good whatever time it is, and we will see you, I imagine, on Friday. Maybe Thursday, but I doubt it. We do have one on Thursday. Heck yeah. We have a Bedrock game on Thursday in 2 days. That'll be the nearest one. So catch that. You can check the calendar to see when it is. That's all.